Guys, welcome to this full mindset video. These are the same mind frames I use to help me go from producing in my bedroom with no connections on GarageBand. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, to producing on Billboard #1 albums, producing for my favorite artists such as NBA Youngboy, Nicki Minaj, Ryla Rodriguez, etc. So guys, you definitely want to watch all the way through. Towards the end, the points that I make are super important, so make sure you stay all the way through the video. Also, there is a corresponding ebook to this video I'm going to talk about, so you guys can follow along with that. That will help the information make a lot more sense. So the first thing I want to talk about is time. Once you understand the importance of time, it really changes everything. You always hear the millionaires and billionaires talk about time is money, and it doesn't really have a lot of substance to it if it isn't explained properly. So the best way that I can explain it, imagine if I gave you $10,000 that you could only spend tomorrow, and by the end of the day, you didn't have access to that money ever again. You would be a fool not to spend all 10,000 of those dollars. But most people only spend 200, 300 out of those $10,000. And all I've done in this example is I've swapped the minutes we have in the day with dollars. You have 10,000 minutes to spend, just like money, on achieving your goals and creating a better life for yourself. And a lot of people just waste this time that you're never ever going to get back. Time is literally so precious. And a lot of people are not protective over their time. If I went into your wallet and I stole $20 from you, you'd call the cops, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe you'd fight me for it. But if I stole 20 minutes of your time, you probably wouldn't raise an eyebrow. If your friend called you and said, yo, let's spend the next 6 going and smoke weed and play video games, that is objectively a waste of time. Are you going to be as protective over your time as you are with money? You have to ask yourself that question. Time is money. It's so important. And once you really see how much you can get done in a day, everything changes, because you feel so good at the end of the day. When you're about to go to bed, you feel accomplished, you feel tired, but you're happy with the amount of progress that you made in the day, and it's one of the best feelings. You feel so confident in yourself. You have absolutely no doubts about your career or about what you're doing when you're actually working that hard. And once you start operating like this and you understand how much you can get done in those 10,000 minutes, you become very reluctant to start saying yes to everything. You start becoming more protective over your time and utilizing it instead to boost your career and to make those steps towards achieving success. So a way I like to measure this is I want to always ask myself, does this activity have an ROI, a return on investment? Is what I'm doing right now improving the state of my life and improving my career? And if I can confidently say yes, then that is time well spent, and that is what I consider to be working. I can be driving from A to B and I can put a voice note in my Telegram channel. I can call someone. I can listen to music and take notes of what's going on in the music. I can listen to a podcast. That is me getting value out of time. That's me not wasting any time in the day. All right, work-life balance. Now, the type of person that normally defends work-life balance is mostly a fucking loser. There's always that one guy who's like, oh, work-life balance. And you just look at them and you think, why would I listen to you? You know what I mean? Now, of course, you can't be sitting at your desk all day, every day for a month straight or for a week straight. That's unhealthy. You want to implement things in your day so that you're changing up your day. You're not just sitting at your desk all the time, of course. There's absolutely no reason to take an entire weekend off and just relax for work-life balance. The reason why I don't believe in this is because your competition aren't taking weekends off. They're working on Saturdays and Sundays. If they're working 2 extra days each week, they're going to destroy you over a month, over 6 months, over a year. Even after a few years, if this other person decides to take a 1-month holiday, you're still not going to be able to catch up with them because you prioritize work-life balance and everybody else overtook you. This is just the way you have to think. It's competitive. At the end of the day, you want to think, how can I do more than this other person? How can I overtake this other person? A rule of thumb that I like to use is, let's say that I have a birthday party on a Saturday night. I will do as much work as possible during the Saturday day so that by the time the party comes around, I feel very comfortable with leaving the house and having a good night, enjoying the time with my friends and stuff, because I've already done a whole day's worth of work before I left the house. And that way, when I'm out, I'm not feeling guilty. I'm not thinking, oh shit, like I was lazy today, now I'm gonna have to work extra hard tomorrow. I always make sure that I'm making up for the lost time in some way, shape or form. And this way you're not losing progress, you're not falling behind, you're not getting overtaken. Adding on to that, there's always something you can be doing. Let's say that you are out all day for your friend's birthday party and you're drinking a lot or whatever. You could still take 10 minutes to respond to DMs. You could still post some sort of story. You could still take a phone call. You could still do a whole lot of things to keep your head above water, just so you're not pissing off the people who are relying on you for packs, or they need to respond to you, whatever it might be. There's always work you can be doing if you've got your phone. That's also something to keep in mind. All right, daily tasks. Now, this is an absolute game changer. Once I started implementing this, everything became a lot easier. And there's actually multiple reasons why this is so effective. First of all, when you write down daily tasks, it keeps you incredibly accountable, because the reality is you don't have a lot of time to do it. You've only got the day to do it. So you can't really afford afford to be wasting time. You can't be afford to spending 3 hours watching Netflix, because it's like you're looking at your whiteboard, which I'm looking at right now, and it's like, fucking hell, I've got a lot of tasks to do. It's currently 9 p.m. on a Friday night, and I have to record this video, and then I'm done my daily tasks for the day. If you look in the ebook, you can see other examples of daily tasks that I write. And I promise myself, I'm not going to go to sleep until the tasks are done. The amount of confidence you get from completing all of them, it's such a good feeling. When you finish a task and you cross it off, it just gives you a bit of momentum, especially when you wake up in the morning and you can't be arsed, and maybe you're feeling a bit shit, or maybe you've been fighting with your girlfriend or whatever, and you're like, fuck's sakes, I don't want to work. Just attack the lowest hanging fruit. Just do the easiest possible task. Once you cross that off, you've just built a bit of momentum to carry you on into the day and to get you working on the harder tasks that you have to complete later on. Daily goals and tasks keep you way more accountable than what people normally do, which are weekly goals or monthly goals or yearly goals. Watch all of the nerds, once it becomes a new year, start writing some bullshit New Year's resolutions. That's gonna absolutely piss me off. Why'd I have to tick to a new year for you to now start thinking, oh, I need to do this? Why did the year have to change for you to get a kick up your ass and actually start fucking trying? It's so stupid. I'm gonna get actually pissed off when I start seeing all this shit. But yearly goals are so dumb, because first of all, you can just say whatever you want. Like, oh, I wanna make $300,000 this year. It's kind of stupid, and it's hard to measure because you have a whole year to do it. But second of all, people can slack off for 6 months, 9 months, and they're like, oh, it's okay, I can still achieve this. I've still got 3 months to go. It's bullshit. When you have daily tasks, you don't have 3 months to wait and to be like, oh, it's okay, I haven't done it. It's got to get fucking done because you have a day to do it. You don't have that long to do it. Now, the next one is focusing on the input. This is so important. I literally can't stress this enough, because especially when you're starting as a producer, it's very easy to get discouraged because you see all these people getting placements and they're making money, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why aren't I seeing those results? People look at the results, at the success. Instead, look at this person and think, instead of me trying to match their results, let me match their input. Let me match the amount of hours they're working a day. Let me match their network. Let me match the quality of samples or beats they make. Focus on the things that you can control. What is stopping you from adding 10 people to your email list today? What is stopping you from messaging 100 rappers trying to sell them beats today? That is the input. That's something that you can say by the end of the day, whether you've actually achieved it or not. Instead of giving yourself a goal like, I want to get a placement with this guy, I want to make this amount of money today. These things are harder to control because this is the output. But the input is, how many people am I going to message today? How many emails am I going to send today? How many samples am I going to make today? And when you focus on the input and you have high standards here, then naturally this will take care of itself. Very, very simple. If you put 5 times 5 into a calculator, it's going to equal 25. There's no two ways about it. So if you are genuinely focusing on the input and your input is good, it's at a high standard, don't worry if you're not seeing these results straight away, because time hasn't caught up yet. This is so important. It's not like you're going to start working 12-hour days and then a week later your whole life looks different. That's not how it works. But if you keep doing this, your life will look different in a matter of a few months. It is going to look different. But if you keep doing this for months and for a year, then your life and your career will look different. All right, next, failure/rejection. Now, it's very natural to be scared of being rejected or to have a fear of failure or whatever, but people, I believe, have the wrong idea with it. Once you've built yourself up to a certain level where you know you're good, maybe you know your beats are good or you know your samples are good, you're not going to care about this because you're going to think this person is missing out. And it's a better approach, it's a better mindset to go into a situation with. A lot of people get rejected and fail and they start looking inwards and they're like, oh shit, is there something wrong with me? They start doubting themselves, they start questioning themselves. But when you know your stuff is good, you're never going to doubt yourself and you're just going to keep attacking. You're going to keep sending those messages, you're going to keep making the music. Ask yourself if the owners of Ferrari look inwards and think, oh shit, do our cars suck? Because some guy walked into the showroom and said, oh no, I don't want to buy it. No, they don't give a fuck because they know that their product is good. There was actually a social experiment. Some guy was giving out gold. There were gold nuggets worth a few $1,000s and he was giving them out on the street. And a lot of people were saying, no thanks bro, like I don't want it, blah, blah, blah. Do you think this guy looked at his nugget of gold and was like, oh my God, is there something wrong with it? No, he was thinking these guys are stupid, they're missing out. This is a better perspective to have when you're working as a producer. However, you don't want to be delusional. If your stuff isn't that good and you're just thinking, oh, these people are all missing out, then you've got a bit of a problem. You have to know that your stuff is good. I'm not really going to talk about how you can identify that in this video. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But yeah, it's super important. Recently, I actually started a one-on-one mentorship program helping producers take their career to the next level. I go over ways they can turn their music into money, build a brand, get placements, etc. And obviously, not everybody can join because there's an application process, but some people don't want to join and I don't look inwards and start questioning my whole life and being like, oh shit, is this not worth it? Whatever, whatever. Because I know how valuable it is. I know how good it is. So obviously, I'm going to look at the situation and think this person is missing out. All right, next one, numbers game. Everything is a fucking numbers game. The approach I like to take with producing is just to do as much shit as possible. Quite a lot of people are like, oh, why aren't I seeing results? Blah, 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 blah. And you can look at it and it's just a complete lack of volume problem. It's a complete lack of action problem. Why haven't I sold any beats? I'll just say, okay, how many rappers did you message yesterday? None. done. What the fuck did you expect, bro? That's literally, if you message 100, would you have sold a beat? They go, yeah. It's like, just do more. Just play the numbers game. It's in your hands. Statistically, if you messaged 100 rappers, you're gonna sell one beat, right? It's not rocket science. This is also why I strongly believe in building a personal brand as a producer. Because let's say that 1% of your story viewers buy a product. If you have 100 story viewers, you're getting one sale. Imagine if you have 10,000 story viewers, 100,000 story viewers. You're selling the same product, but you're making so much more money because you've got more eyeballs, you've got more attention. This is why I strongly believe in building a personal brand, because you have more reach, you have more potential to connect with more people and to make more money. If you guys actually want to grow your personal brand, I have a video in the description about it. You can check that out once this video is done. But the next point is stop fucking delaying things. People delay things for literally no reason. I was actually sitting here trying to figure out why people delay things and I couldn't come up with a fucking answer. It's so dumb. It seems so basic. Sometimes I talk to loot makers and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna start networking soon. I'm gonna start sending my stuff out soon. All I'm thinking is, why the fuck would you do that soon? Why wouldn't you do it today? Imagine if it took you 1 month to go from idea to execution. You've lost that month forever. This is just a month of nothingness. You've lost a month of progress. In that month, you could have met a life-changing connection. In that month, you could have gotten some crazy placement. You just decide not to take action. For what reason? I literally do not understand it. It's so dumb. I was talking to another person and he made a video and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna post this in 3 days. And I was like, why would you post in 3 days? Post it today. You can post a video today and you can post another video tomorrow and you can post another video the next day. And by the time you're here, you've already figured out if the video style works or not. You've got all this important data and then you can act according to that. Why would you just delay? Why would you wait? Makes no sense. It seems so simple, but quite a lot of people make this mistake. This comes back to the whiteboard. This is why I love the whiteboard so much, because when I'm looking at the whiteboard, it's like, I don't have time to waste. I'm not gonna delay things. I'm not gonna do it tomorrow if I can do it today. Imagine going to sleep knowing that you had to do 6 things, but you just didn't do it because you were lazy. You're just gonna feel like a bit of a fucking loser. You're not gonna feel very confident in yourself. You're gonna feel super guilty. If you can get something done today, do it today. And the thing is, every time you put in work, you get rewarded for it exponentially. The first placement is always the hardest, and then it gets exponentially easier. The first $100, the first $1,000 is always the hardest, and then it gets exponentially easier. So when you put in the work today, you might not see this reward for it tomorrow. However, you don't know, maybe that work that you did in a year's time makes you $2,000 or it makes you $5,000 because of one exponential returns, or maybe the person that you message who you have a connection with, you guys got a crazy place. You never really know. The point I'm trying to make is the action you take today could actually have such a significant impact. So when you have that in your mind, in a way, you're tricking yourself just to do more anyways, because like this tiny little action is gonna get this result. Okay, let me just do it. Fuck it. Let me just push through. Even though I'm tired, let me just do it. All right, next point is speed. Now this is kind of similar to the delaying point that I just made, but I was actually talking to a producer inside of my mentorship program and I gave him heaps of action steps on how he can turn his beats into money, how he can use his system so he can make money whilst he's sleeping, make money overnight, etc. And the next day he sent me so many questions about little problems he ran into, and pretty much he did every single thing I said straight away. And naturally, he ran into a few problems. There were a few questions he had, and this is normal. This is business. You're always gonna run into problems, but he was on it quickly, and it made me so happy because I'm like, yes, this guy's gonna fucking make it because he's quick. He didn't waste time. I didn't tell him how to do X, Y, Z, and then he took 1 week to implement it. I could never take anyone seriously if I was like, bro, you can do this, 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 and it will get you this goal, and then they just took 1 week to do it. It's like, why would you take 1 week to do it? It goes back to the delaying point. But yeah, you wanna move quickly. All right, the last point that I wanna make is be around winners. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who are doing great things. This is one of the few genuine cheat codes that just elevate everything. It's crazy how important this is. If you spent the next 6 months with 5 heroin junkies in a trap house, you would very quickly become the 6th heroin junkie. It's just the odds are not in your favor. You're fucked. You're gonna become a heroin junkie. However, if you spend the next 6 months with 5 millionaires, I would argue it would be hard not to become the next millionaire, because naturally you just lift. You're gonna see how they operate. You're gonna see how quick they are. You're gonna see how hard they work. You're gonna adopt their habits. It's gonna be very hard for you not to become that next millionaire. And if you weren't up to scratch and you were lazy, you'd just get kicked out, because these people would obviously have high standards. I find I learn the most and I get the most done when I'm just around high level people. I'm around people who are pushing me, who are giving me different business ideas. Recently, I went to Dubai with a whole lot of other people who do online business, and I was staying with some people from Australia, and we were in the convenience store and I was getting myself a guava drink and a muffin. And then my friend got himself a water and eggs. And I kind of walked out of the store and I felt like a bit of a loser. I was like, fucking hell. Because I've got this guava drink, right? And the next day, I bought water and eggs. And it sounds like a dumb story, but what I'm saying is it rubs off on you. When you're around higher level people, when you're around people who care a lot about the gym and about health and about making money and about all of this shit, and you can learn so much from them, it rubs off on you in a positive way, like this eggs example, or it can rub on you in the heroin junkie way, and you can fuck up your entire life. It's definitely something to be mindful of. It's super, super important. But yeah, guys, that is the video. Check out the link in the description because there is the ebook. There's a few different points that I didn't include in this video. Once you get access to the ebook, you will also get value emails from me. I'm actually posting a lot of value inside my broadcast channel on Instagram, but some messages I write are too long. I can't write them on Instagram, so I reserve them for people who have signed up to that list. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment. You can check out the producer personal brand video in the description as well, and I'll see you in the next video.